Good morning, good rainy morning mga kababayan, everybody. Thank you very much, Limitless Power Coach, para sa itong oportunidad to share my knowledge about leadership and management. Okay, before we start, guys, I'd like to share with you. Can I just have few instructions? So in this talk, meron ho tayong mga tanong. Okay? Mga tanong nito, kailangan may sagot. So saan ho kayo sasagot? Dito ho sa baba, meron ho kayo on the lower right. So I will say something like, "Hi guys." Right? Okay. Sige. Let's have a sample. Can everybody, sino bang naka-join already in this stream? Can anybody or everybody, I will request to greet anyone. Sige. Para makita ko kung if how many more or less are already online. Sige, paki-greet ho. You wanna say good morning? You wanna shout out? I'll read out for some people if you want. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Maybe around 30 seconds dito po sa yan. 123 attendees. So sige, hintayin natin yung iba. According to Power Limitless, merong mga 400 plus ang nag-register. Okay? There are 123 attendees in Zoom. Wow. Okay. Okay, ang dami pala. Ito, good morning from Arnel. Ito, sample lang guys ha. Okay, from Carmela. Miguel. Good morning from Aneli Lascad. Right? Healthy day. Yes, sabi ni Noel Mendoza. Okay, sige. By the way guys, merong yung admin ng Power Limitless kasi wala akong access sa sa Zoom for tech reasons. So they will answer and they will type here the questions. Okay? So from here, pag tinype nila, babasahin ko and then sasagutin ko. Okay? Number 2, pag may tanong ho tayo, ako, sasagot nyo ho and then po-post dito ni admin. Parang ginagawa na yun ng admin. For example, sabi from Sharon Del, a great raining morning from Malaguna. Wow, malapit lang to. Taga Alabang po ako. From Lionel Jabagat. Yan, good morning. Thank you for this free webinar. Yes. Okay. Sige ha. Lastly, before we start guys, and I share you my slides, hindi ho lahat na mababasa ko yung sagot ha. Kasi for time constraint hanggang 11 lang ito. And I heard nga again, may 400 plus daw ang nag-register for this free online leadership training. O sige, tanungin natin again from admin. Admin, ilan na naka-login sa Zoom, ma'am? Or sir? Ilan na ba tayong naka-login? Parang hintayin natin kung may kaya pa. 135 na. Okay, sige. I will start by introducing myself. My name is David Dela Pena. I have been in learning and development for the last 21 years. So madami na po ako napag-adaanan. Specifically, ito po ang favorite topic ko, leadership and management. Why? Because naniniwala po ako pag lahat po ng bagay falls under leadership and management. You want to be successful, you need to understand the difference of leadership and management. You want to be a successful husband and wife, you need to know about leadership and management. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to know about leadership and management. Unfortunately, in school, at least in my time po, hindi ho lahat naturo to. Dapat may course to sa college, kahit even sa high school nagsisimula pa lang because very important to guys. Okay? Now, 135, I will begin now. I will share you my slides, right? Share the screen. Share screen. Okay. Ano po? Okay, meron ho tayong activity tatanungin ko sa inyo. I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Lahat ho ng 100 plus o kung sino bang naka-join. Right? I will show you my slides right now. Okay, so yan na. Okay? I'll give you 3 minutes na lang to answer, okay? One sentence lang guys, wag paragraph kasi we're short with time. In your own opinion, walang tama at mali, what is the difference of leadership versus management? Answer in the chat box. Wala hong tama at maling sagot. I'll give you around 3 to 5 minutes. Sige na nga, 5 minutes. Baka sa mga taong humahabol at sumunod. And then I would read some answers. So it's already 10:07. So at 10:12, guys, I will read some answers. Okay? Again, pakisagot lang po. What is the difference of leadership versus management? Go ahead, guys. You can type right now. Okay, guys, ulitin ko. Please answer the question. What is the difference, in your own opinion, ang leadership versus management? No right or wrong answer, guys. Until 10:12, you have the answer. One sentence will do. Popost ng admin dito sa stream live. And then I will read some of the answers. Okay? Okay, guys, you have 2 minutes to complete your answers. What is the difference of leadership and management? In your own opinion, walang tama at mali. Pakisagot po sa chat box ng Zoom and then admin will post it there. So you have 2 more minutes. Okay, you have 1 more minute, guys. Again, what is the difference in your own opinion po? Walang tama at mali. Anong difference ng leadership and management? Please answer in the chat box in Zoom or kung saan ba kayo naka-live. Attached, admin will post it in live stream and I will read. Okay, 1 more minute, guys. Happy morning. Good morning. It's raining here in Alabang, right? Okay, it's already. I will now stop sharing it. Babasahin ho natin yung mga sagot ng iba. Tingnan ho natin ano mga sagot ng mga kababayan ho natin. Stop sharing there. Okay. Sige, hintayin natin yung mga sagot ng mga admin. Paki-post lang po, admin. Limitless Power Coach will wait. Again, the question is, In your opinion, ano ba difference ng leadership versus management? Madaming klaseng ganyan. Pwede yung na-experience nyo, pwede yung nabasa nyo, pwede yung may nagsabi sa inyo, magulang nyo, boss nyo. In my own opinion, all of them have been my experiences. I have read, I have experienced, I have been told, I have been mentored. So I'd like to show with you kung ano yung mga experiences ko. Let's wait for admin to post the question. Answers to the question, what is the difference between leadership and management? Magkaiba ho yun, ha? If there is one definitive answer, hindi ho pareho yun. You cannot, it's like oil and water, diba? You can mix them, but they're totally different item po yun. Right? So let's wait for admin to post. Ano mo bang mga sagot nila? Basahin ho natin. Okay, what is the difference between leadership and management? Ano yung mga comments nila? Good morning. Leadership, sabi ni Justin. Good morning, leadership, not necessarily with position, sabi ni JM Justin, but someone who can emulate management, more structured with authority and goals. Well said, JM. Right. Okay, there's another private chat. Ano yung mga sagot ng iba? Okay. Tingnan natin yung mga sagot, diba? Ito sa chat na to. Okay, yung so far. Okay. Meron pa ba? Meron mga sagot pa sa baba? Air. Okay. Sabi ni Lay Ann Nuestro, AM, leadership, people, management, process. Okay. Leadership is para sa tao, management is proseso. Tama ho yun. Sabi ni Joy Limson, leadership is taking the lead. Diba? Okay. Sabi ni Maria Teresa Villarosa to everybody, leadership inspires. Yan. Tama yan. That's a nice term. Management teach process. Yes, proseso. Rizel, leadership is leading people while management is doing the system. Tama. Maria Virginia Calderon, leadership is empowering of people while management is getting things done. Yes, I was just reading something about that 10 minutes ago before we started. And J. Raffer, leadership is inspiring to act. Yan. From Carla Cordero, leadership is to lead people. Management, while management is a system. Yes. Tama. So consistently, I will read the last 5 guys before we move. Sabi ni Kirby Torres, management is the method or process of leading, while leadership is the quality of the person. I agree. Right? I agree with Kirby. Celso Genil, number 2, third to the last. Leadership is how to manage the people. Sige, park natin yan, ha, Mr. Celso. Sabi ni Sharon Del Paras, management is the process of getting things done. Right? And lastly, we have Klang. Sorry guys, hindi ko mababasa lahat. Wala tayong oras. Leadership is how you lead the people, how you guide them, how you nurture them to be the best that they can be. Maybe to do things outside the box. Management is how you handle them, the process you do for them to obtain the highest potential. I totally agree with you guys. I'm sorry, hindi ko po mababasa lahat. Right? So let me share you my screen and what I have gathered and written few weeks ago. Ito, sana makatulong po ako sa inyo. Further, by the way, everything that I have read, I agree. Mga 99%. Okay? So what is management? Unahin natin management kasi ito yung mas madali para sa akin, tingin ko. It's a skill people use to reach an objective. That may be individual or team. Diba? Everybody needs management. Everybody needs a skill. Kaya nga tayo nag-aaral, di ba? We go to elementary, we go to high school, we go to college, some goes to post-college education. Ngayon, uso ang mga online classes, right? All these certifications, ang daming learning consultancy. Itong webinar natin is one way of management, of upgrading your management. Okay? Management, kasi meron kang objective, right? You want to reach your goal. Your goal must be, you must be equipped. It is not fair if you're not equipped. Sometimes, kung nagmamadali yung isang tao or isang organization, you need to learn as you go. Nangyayari yon. So, anong mga characteristics ng management, guys? Like my experience, there must be an objective. Kung boss ka sa kumpanya, kung bago kang join sa isang company, magtatayo ka ng negosyo, magpa-partner ka sa best friend mo, or matagal ka na sa isang kumpanya, every year you need planning. October pa lang, nagpa-plan ka na. Right? For the next year. Hindi pwedeng bahala na si Batman because malulugi ang objective. Malulugi yung kumpanya. Or hindi ka kikita. Right? Ano ba objective mo? Right? As I told my friend, what is your objective in getting a job? Hindi siya masagot. Kaya pala wala siyang trabaho for the last 3 years. Hindi niya alam eh. Diba? Hindi siya maka-make up. That's okay. But if you wanna manage something, you need to manage something. Kailangan written. By the way, kung objective yan, hindi pwedeng sabi lang ng boss mo or sabi lang ng partner mo. Everything must be in black and white. It all must be written. So, if, for example, if you join a new company, kailangan ma-explain ng boss yung trabaho mo within the next few days after orientation. Hindi pwede after 6 months, doon ka palang sabihin, ito trabaho mo. Anong gagawin mo? Sayang oras mo. You'll be lost. By the way, nangyari na sa akin yan. Okay? So, orientation is very important. Ano ba yung objective? Number 2 is task relative. Ano ba kailangan ko gawin? Kung magbebenta ka ng kotse, ano ba objective? Ilang kotse, isang buwan? Ilang van or mix ba? Paano ba ibebenta? Number 3, I discovered that it's important to have project management skills. Ano ang project management skills? You need basic project management skills, meaning plano, execute, monitor, adjust, close. Ulitin, plano, execute, adjust, close. Now, madaming tools yan sa online. Madaming mga pwedeng yung gamitin. Madaming mathematical ways of doing it. Gantt chart is one of the first things I learned 10 years ago about project management. Kung gusto nyo matuto pa sa mga magagaling, you talk to people who are good in math and translate it to algorithm. Diba? Laling mga project management tools. Kasi kung meron kang objective, definitely hindi yan madali. For example, a salesperson selling cars in a company in the Philippines. Average niyan, if hindi high-end European cars, mga 6 to 8 cars a month. Ano ang strategy me to do that? You need to have a project for that. Para ka nagtatayo ng bahay. Ano mang unang step? Ano may pangalawa, pangatlo, pang-apat? I don't know. Hindi ako architect, hindi ako contractor. Pero kailangan merong project yan. Fourth, ito to. Ano ba kasama sa management? Focus. Hindi lahat pwede gawin mo. No matter how you say. For example, you're working from home. Diba? Or you're working for multiple projects. Tao ka lang. Hindi ka Superman, hindi ka Batman, hindi ka Superwoman. You can only take so much. Sabi nga ng boss ko, I work for a company, guys. Sabi ng boss ko, hey, sabihin mo sa akin kung nalulunod ka na. Kung kailangan mo ng tao, dagdagtag tayo ng tao. Because you cannot do everything. You need to focus. You need to adjust when there's adjustment. And firefighting are few examples of management skills. What are firefighting? Sometimes may puputok na problema araw-araw. Like for example, ito. Umuulan. Anong effect nito sa trabaho namin? Like me, I live in Alabang, I work in Pasig. So I have to think of ways kung anong oras ako gigising, anong oras ako, I work on site by the way. Anong oras ako aalis? Anong best ruta? 'Di ba? Para hindi ako malate. Anong susuotin ko? Jacket ba? Coat ba? All these things. Araw-araw may firefighting. Normal 'yan, right? Now, as you get to know your job well, malilesen 'yan kasi nagiging expert ka. Okay? Doon sa mga problema, para hindi mag-recur, create policy creation. Lalo na kung meron kang authority. May nagsabi kanina, leadership, ganyan yan. Part of management is actually writing policy. For example, ano ang policy nyo sa work from home? Kailangan defined yun ng HR and approved by management. Hindi yung pwedeng, ay kasi ano siya, I feel bad, may lagnat ako. Kailangan may policy yan. So sa dati kong kumpanya, yung HR worked with a doctor. Ano ba company? So you have a DOLE representative, you have a ER or employee relation officer, and then you have the doctor, and then you have the head of HR working on the policy. Para clear, approved by management, disseminated properly, explained to people through video calling or what, kung pwede sa management. Kasi hindi pwede basta-basta work from home, right? There are a lot of consideration. So I suggest, if you're gonna manage anything in your life, your job, your work, right, your business, your objectives, you need to have idea on policy creation. Now, good news, madaming templates yan online. You can borrow from HR, paturo ka sa isang magaling. Ako, ganun ako natututo. Right? Turuan mo naman ako paano mo to. So, 10 years ago, gumagawa kami ng policy, ganyan yan. Turo mo naman sa akin, sir. Turo mo naman sa akin, ma'am. Okay lang yan. So, you need to be willing to learn. Kung gusto nyo, gawa ka ng playbook or manual. 6. Ano ba ang playbook? It's just a manual of how things are done in your department. Na kung sumali ka sa isang company na malaki na, established, good for you. May mga processes and procedure. Pero pwede din ma-improve yun. Di ba? Isipin mo lang, everything changes. Nothing is constant. So you have to take a look at how you improve your processes. Hindi pwede na how you get from A to B is the same thing. Here's a clear definition that I learned. Do you know anong definition ng insanity, guys? It's doing the same thing and wishing for a different result. Anong ibig sabihin yon? Doing the same thing wishing for a different result. For example, binentahan mo ang isang kumpanya ng 10 kotse last month. Sa tingin mo ba bibili yung kumpanya niyan sa iyo next month ulit? Hindi. You do not expect, try not to expect different result kung pare-pareho ang methodology mo because ang merkado, ang environment nagbabago. I'll give you a case in point. May mga kumpanya today, mahirap mag-recruit ng tao. Bakit? Kasi kahit gustong-gusto ng empleyado yung walang trabaho, magtrabaho sa company, ang unang tinatanong, works on site pa yan sa Manila? Pwede ba work from home? Kung hindi, ano ba ang scheme? Pwede ba hati sa bahay, hati sa trabaho? So nagbago yan. 2 years ago, walang pinag-uusapan dyan. So ang sinabi ko sa recruiter or the head of recruitment, what processes and procedures or incentives will you establish to attract the right talent? Kasi tinanong niya nga sa akin, Dave, ano bang pwedeng gawin? Well, that's the market because people want to work from home generally because of COVID situation. Again, ulitin ko, doing the same thing and wishing for different result is a definition of insanity. Being able to write different policies and procedures that is approved, hindi lang sulat and then publish it. Kailangan ma-approve ng boss mo and management yan in order to achieve a simple or a set of objective. Management has nothing to do with people. Ulitin ko again. Manage has nothing to do with people. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 21 years, naririnig ko lagi to, Dave, people management, you can never handle people. There are people, they have their own will. We have a free will. We have our own ways to do things. You can influence only. Never say people management. You can never, it's like saying, umupo ka, tumayo ka. It doesn't work that way. Because it can for the short way, but eventually, alam mo mangyayari, people will resign. And then you will have a problem with attrition in your department. So that leads me to the second one. Ano ba ang leadership? Leadership is all about a behavior of a person that influences others. Simple as that. Look at this picture. A boy looking at the stars, pointing at somewhere. And all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children behind him, and all probably male, are looking where he is pointing. That is leadership, ladies and gentlemen. I did not invent this. I believe in this. This is from John Maxwell. Leadership is the influence, period. The good thing about influence, ladies and gentlemen, is everybody can influence everybody. Do you know, according to science, in your lifetime, lahat naka-attend ho na yun na more than 135 people. Tagaan nyo sa bato, you will influence 10,000 people in your lifetime. Regardless if you have the position in your organization, you will influence directly or indirectly 10,000 people. Imagine with the power of social media, of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all these things, right? All these social media platforms from 10,000 will now gravitate into millions. Right? I'll give you a case in point. BTS. Right? Kung anong sinuot nila today, do you know that I'm not a fan? My wife is a fan. Super fan siya. Do you know that if they wear a certain shirt, 2 hours later, ubos na yan nationwide? Their tickets online are sold in within hours. Their first live performance after this pandemic is in the United States. Right? Ganon din ho kayo. Hindi nyo lang alam, pero what you post, what you say, what you do in the office, how you smell, what you eat, your behavior, are you nice? Are you bad? Are you late in the office? Are you a good person? Do you backbite other people? Do you grow other people? Do you help other people? Are you generous with your time? Do you help others to improve or do you downgrade them? Do you shout to your friend? Do you shout to your office mate pag nagkamali sila? Do you feel like you have all the powers in the world na magaling ako tapos ganyan? You are influencing other people. That is a fact of life. That will never change until the end of time or whatever we call it. Hanggang buhay ang tao sa mundo nito, someone will influence someone more than 10,000 people. Before, without the social media, it's just 10,000. Now, it is the world. Right? That's why nga may mga taong nakakasuhan, nawawala ng trabaho, napopromote, napupuri, di ba? Look at the celebrities that we have in the Philippines. What they wear, what they say, everybody gets it. Parang, uy, I wanna do that. I wanna get that. I wanna get that shoes. I wanna get that bag. I wanna eat there because kumain sa ganito. That's marketing. That's advertising, right? Because it is a behavior of certain people that tells you that is good. If someone tells you, ay, scam itong ginagawa ng itong link na to, scam to, people will get mad and say, no, okay, hindi ko gagawin yan. That's how powerful each and every one of us, right? Because of social media. What are the characteristics of leadership? Right? 1, it is never related to task. Hindi ka pa nagtatrabaho, you are influencing other people. Hindi pa kayo nag-uusap ng trabaho sa staff mo, sa friend mo, sa business mo, you are already influencing. Everybody influences others, as I said. And everything rises and falls with leadership, according to John Maxwell. Anong ibig sabihin yon? You want to be successful in life, it's all about leadership. It's about your influence. You can also influence yourself. Right? Hindi lang yung others but yourself. Look at the people who are very successful in the world, yung nagkaroon ng very good businesses in the Philippines, yung mga mayayaman, may-ari ng Metrobank, see the family, the Ayala family, Mega World, the Tan family. All these people have very good leadership qualities and practices because they work hard for it, right? So tandaan nyo, if you are going to rise and fall in any of your objectives, start with leadership. Start with that. Don't start pinpointing other people. Kasi siya ganyan, siya kasi ganyan. I learned a very valuable lesson, ladies and gentlemen. It all starts and ends with you. Your work ends and starts with you. Okay? There's no one to blame but you. Right? Kasi baha kasi COVID kasi mahirap puntahan yan Well, we are happy to let you know and to reinforce that we are free to choose our acts, but we are not free from the consequences. Right? Look at the picture. People are running. Who is first? What kind of leadership characteristic or influence do you want? So I will go to the last part of this talk, which is very important. The type of influences that you can have. This transcends to any religion, faith, or same, race, age, right? Bata pa lang, right? Alam mo, naalala ko yung doktor ng anak ko, dalawang anak ko. Sabi, the first 7 years are sponges. Ano ba yung sponges? Ang brain ng mga bata daw, the first 7 years are like sponges. Whatever you show your children, they will just absorb. They're not gonna judge. Absorb lang sila ng absorb. Diba? Ganon din tayo mga adults, mga kaibigan. Pag pumasok ko ng kumpanya, pag nagtrabaho ka with your friend, pag nagtatayo ka ng negosyo, absorb ka na nag-absorb. Kahit hindi mo type yan, absorb ka lang. You will either get the 4 types of influences. The first one is negative influences. Matalino na boss, matalino na katrabaho, pero bastos. Naninigaw, nagpapahiya, sumisigaw. Ang meeting 8 hours, 9 hours na walang kwenta. Those are things that that will stay with their heart. That will remember when we grow old. So management, you may be very good at it, but if you have a negative influence, mataas ang attrition. Believe me, I know because I suffered for 9 years in an environment that had negative influence. Everything dodera, everything naninigaw. Ang boss namin lahat naninigaw. Nagpapahiya. Okay lang manigaw paminsan-minsan kung nagkamali ka. Ako, tatanggapin ko yon. Pero huwag ka naman manigaw sa buong madla. Not in front of 30 people as if you own the company. I remember this statement from my boss. Lahat ho tayo are employee numbers. May employee number. Pag wala kang employee number, ibig sabihin either hindi ka katrabaho mo or ikaw yung may-ari ng kumpanya. Kung may katrabaho ka nung ninigaw sa'yo na may employee number, sabihin mo sa kanya, pareho-pareho lang ho tayo, ma'am or sir. Negative people, ang effect dyan, lumalayo ang tao, hindi productive. Apektado ang management. Lalayo, maghahanap ng trabaho yan. Magtitiis habang makahanap ng bagong trabaho yan. Or worse, kung may pera yan, resign agad yan. Believe me, I'm in HR and learning and development. Number 1 reason why people leave organization, regardless if it's COVID or not, is people who have negative influences to other people. Number 2, which is I like, is positive. Itong ini-aim ko laging araw-araw. Diba? Gusto ko yung boss ko. Do you know that my new job, I have a new job, guys. My new job, I have 2 requirements only. I don't care about the work, I will handle the work as it is, no matter how difficult it is. I only have 2 requirements. Pay, is it enough? Sana more than enough what I will do. Kasi syempre, may pamilya. Pero 2, ang pinaka-importante is my influence of my boss to me. After 1 week of talking to my boss, I said, alam mo boss, kung hindi kita boss, lumayas na ako dito. Wala akong pakialam sa sweldo na binigay mo sa akin. Then he smiled. You see guys, people stay in organization because of people, not because of money. Number 3 lang yan. Kahit COVID yan, number 3 yan. If you are a positive influencer to the people in the organization, people will trust you more. If you don't backbite people, if you don't do bad politics in the office, if you do not, hindi mo sinasagasaan ng kahit sino man, if you just do your work, you're happy, you help other people, especially helping other people, you coach them, you share your information, marunong ka makatulong sa mga kapwa mo katrabaho, hindi ka mayabang, down to earth ka kahit may kaya ka na sa buhay mo, nakakatulong ka pa sa kapwa mo katrabaho, you are a positive influencer. Believe me, people will ask you for mentorship and they will also trust you more. You become an employee and you become a valued person to the organization. Believe me guys, yun ang magandang achieve. 3, neutral. Ito, meron ako nakita to. Very rare naman tong neutral na to. Usually kasi 1 or 2. Usually, ano ang neutral? Walang pakialam. Pasok, trabaho, pasok, trabaho, uwi. Baksak ng sales? Okay lang. Right? Believe me, I have experienced this. I used to work for a company that the owners were magkakapatid. Out of the, let's say, assuming out of the 7 magkakapatid, yung 2 na meet ko, walang pakialam. Ito, literally guys, pasok yung isa, alas 8, o 9 kami. Pasok ng 9, lunch ng 11:30, balik ng 1, uwi ng 2. Araw-araw. Ulitin ko pasok ng 9, lunch ng 11:30, balik ng 1, uwi ng 2. Wala namang problema kasi siyang may-ari, wala siyang employee number. Pero what happens to the department? Nothing. Hindi alam ng mga tao niya, katrabaho niya, kung saan pupunta ng directive ng kumpanya. Buti na lang, hindi siya pinaka-head ng kumpanya ng pamilya niya. It is the other sibling who's handling most of the departments. Can you imagine if that person was the head? Nothing will happen. Lulugi yung kumpanya. Pero mabait siya, very down-to-earth person, nice to talk to, walang yabang, super rich. Pero sobrang simple, pero wala siyang, neutral lang siya. Okay. What come at may, ganun siya. Sad, di ba? You can actually produce more, be productive, get to know your staff, improve employee relation, improve engagement, improve attrition. Wala eh. Ganun talaga siya eh. I have observed that person for many years. Right? Number 4, ito, extreme na to, ladies and gentlemen. I am not asking you guys for doing this. Kasi ito yung mga reserved for Mother Teresa, John Paul Pope. Ayan, yan yung mga tipong hero natin, Cory Aquino, yung namatay, yung mga people who have changed our lives. These are the things that who are heroes in our lifetime. Eh madami namang heroes in every generation, di ba? These are the people who really change the way you think and you feel. Ako wala pa ako na-meet ng ganyan na life-changing. Right? Some say their mother, their father, that's okay. But on a global perspective, yan, tipo ni Mother Teresa. Ito lang. Kung Katoliko ka o Kristiyano ka, si Mother Teresa led one of the biggest and largest free organizations in India, in the world, to take care of the poorest of the poor, right? And to take care of the people who are abandoned and the people who are dying. She's one of the few people in the world. You know how many nuns followed her? Thousands and thousands without any pay, libre. Do you know that she's one of the few people in the world, patay na siya, unfortunately, that she can just go to any airport. Pasok siya ng airport. I want to go to the United States. Libre. Walang passport, walang visa. Can you imagine her influence, her positive influence? Right? That is an example of life-changing. Nagbago ang kurso ng isang race. And in spite of the fact that she passed away, her organization lives. And hundreds and hundreds of governments support that organization. Based in India, in Calcutta. I just forgot the name. Ganon din si Pope. he can just travel around the world and say, I want to go because I need to go to, let's say, India for a talk. Libre lahat yan, no visa, no questions. Right? Daig pa niya ang United States president and who needs to have all these kinds of visas and clearances. Right? Okay? So, what is my point, ladies and gentlemen? Before we go to the open forum, right? Your life and my life, in your entire life, you will influence in leadership more than 10,000 people. Hindi mo malalaman, hindi mo makakount yan. Some people will give you feedback. Right? It is your responsibility, it is your right to choose what kind of influence do you want to be. Do you want to be a negative influencer at home or at work? Do you want to be a positive one? Or do you want to be just neutral na walang pakialam? Or you want to be life-changing? It is your decision. It is your daily decision. It's not a long-term, it's not your, I want to be positive next year. No. It's daily. It needs to be a habit. Sabi nila, ang habit is actually done after more than 21 times straight, it becomes a habit. Right? So, it's a daily decision. So, for example, galit ka sa staff mo, nagkamali. Are you gonna be a negative influencer? Ask yourself, or a positive one? Or a negative, or wala kang pakialam, or life-changing. If there is someone who asks you for information or favor at work, are you gonna say na, ayoko bigay sa'yo? Or are you going to be helpful? Are you gonna be forgiving? I have a boss before who never forgets your mistakes. She is a very nice lady outside work, but she's very tough in or at work. Right? She will never forget your mistakes because that's how she forms branding. Ay, si ganito, ganyan, si ganito, ganyan. That's her style. To me, that is one of the most destructive, negative influence that you can have. People change. People make mistakes. But people make good in the end. No one is perfect. I have seen people who have nothing at all, as in zero, negative. And then 10 years later, they're so successful. You know why? Not because they were bright, not because they have great management skills, ladies and gentlemen. Natutunan na nila yung along the way. But because they have great influences. May mga tao nakilala ko, pag nakausap mo, akala mo taong grasa. Yung pala ang may-ari ng kumpanya nila, left and right. Dito sa Alabang and Las Piñas, I know many people like that. Started from nothing. They only had one good intention in their heart. And this is the truth that I believe, and this is the reason why I give talks like this. Be a positive influencer. Di ba? Kaya ang sabi nila, ito yung mga influencer to sa social media, di ba? Be careful of what you say, what you post, what you do in social media. In your work, at home, your kids, lalo na yung mga bata na yan, they just absorb in sa kasambahay, sa driver mo, sa boyfriend mo, sa asawa mo, sa finances mo. Kung marunong ka mag-ipon, turuan mo ibang tao. Kung hindi ka marunong mag-ipon, humingi ka ng tulong para makaipon. That's how life should be, in my case. It doesn't have to be complicated. Right? Be a positive influencer. Because remember this, if you are a positive influencer, you gradually attract more people. People will go to you. It's a natural thing. It's a human thing. Diba? For example, we don't want to go with someone who is always nega. Diba? I don't want to work. Alam mo, I used to work with someone before na puro nega. Negative siya. Umalis talaga ako sa kanya. I wrote him a letter and said, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you because puro ka nega. Okay? So, it's in my clock. It's 10:46. We have 15 minutes. I will stop sharing. Take a look about 4 types of influences. Absorb nyo muna yan. I will now open the floor. Dali lang, sana ba to? Ba't ayaw mga? Right? So here is the question that you need to answer. Ay, sorry pala. Before you answer, do you need to both to succeed in your chosen career? Okay, I'll answer this because wala na tayong time. You need both. Okay? We have 14 minutes kasi. I need to open the floor na. You need both. Hindi ka pwede puro leader lang. Hindi ka pwede positive leader ka lang, di ba? Meron dyan tumatakbo, di ba? I'm sorry to say this to you, ha? Meron yung mga, di ba, pag-isipan natin kung sinong pupoto next year. Hindi yung, oy, gusto ko maging leader ng Pilipinas. I'm a positive. Hindi pwede lang yun. Kahit no, napakaganda ng intention mo, and I believe this, lahat na tumatakbo bilang presidente ng Pilipinas have good intentions for the country. Pero let's balance it also out with management. Sino ang may kakayahan? Sino ang may experience? Right? You want to be the president of the Philippines? Right? So that is same thing when you do your work, guys. Hindi ka lang pwedeng puro leadership na walang management. And, baliktad naman natin, hindi ka naman pwedeng management ng walang positive influence. Kasi kung puro kang management ng management, lalayasan ka. Kung puro ka leadership ng leadership, hindi alam kung tao mo kung anong gagawin sa department mo. Good time lang ang mangyayari niyan. You're good friends. And I have experienced both. There was a time that I was just being influenced. I don't know what to do. There was a time that I was so micromanaged, poor leadership. Either way, I'm not happy. Ganun din ang tao. Regardless of what company you work for, guys, if you are gonna be a person of influence, which you are, you need to balance both. Meron ba akong skill to do the job? If not, saan ko pwede matutunan? Sino pwede magturo sa akin? Do I need to invest? Learn about being a positive influencer because that's the way you balance both to be a very good person at work and as a person. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will now open the floor for questions. Sige. Anyone can answer, can ask questions. Siguro I will answer the first the first 10 questions that you may have about leadership and management. While we wait, guys, I like to tell you that this is something that I sincerely believe. Ito po ang ambition ko. Ito ang goal ko. To teach people that at the end of the day, your leadership and management is the key to your success in your career in life. Right? That's the only way to succeed. And by the way, guys, it has not changed the formula, ha? Kahit 2021 na patapos ng 2021, it will never change. The most successful people we see in the world, financially successful, good, and have a balance of both. More or less. Right? Hindi ka pwede puro trabaho lang ng walang magandang influence. Right? So, I will open the floor. There are questions here. Right? Wala ba? So, let's take a look at ano yung mga question nila. Any questions, guys, from the group? Power Limitless, you can just post it here. I have 9 minutes to answer before we close the learning session. Right? By the way, so I'm David Dela Pena. I'm a leadership guru. I also do organization transformation, meaning a lot of changes in the organization that talks about leadership and management too. So I give this free talks too, sometimes in-depth training. So of course, hindi na free yun. And I really hope that you can get something from me. And it's free, guys. Some of them are just not my ideas. I embody them. I embrace them because I know I try to be a very good influencer. But I also try to learn the management side. Okay, so let's open the floor for any questions, guys. We have 10 minutes. Ano po ang mga tanong nyo tungkol sa leadership and management? You can type your answers and then the admin will now post it here in the comment section. Okay, the first person, anyone, guys? Anyone who would like to ask the group or even ask me, o kung hindi ako, sa group na lang. If you think there are questions that the group should answer, what do you think is anything related with leadership, right? So ulitin ho natin for the people who have joined while we wait, right? Leadership is different from management. Management talks about the hard skill, the technical skill to achieve a goal. And then you have the leadership, which is behavior and influence. There are 4 types of influences that you have in your life. Habang buhay ka pa, 4 ang to choose mo. Positive, negative, neutral, or life-changing. The nice thing is everybody can choose that. You don't have to be very, very intelligent. You just need to choose it daily. right? Now, choosing it that daily means you need to do the act. Would you want to be positive, negative, neutral, or life-changing? If you ask me, I like to be positive. Positive to my wife, positive to my children, positive to my boss, positive to the people I work with. Because at the end of the day, that's how I will be perceived in my leadership. On my management style, I will need to really constantly adapt to new skills. I'll give you a good example for management. Today, I'm learning all new things of applications at work. 10 years ago, wala mga applications like Google Suite, Slack, Asana, lahat nito. G Suite, Kiss Flow, all these technologies to work from home, to work remotely, to track progress. Hindi ko talaga type ang technology. But I know I have a goal. If I want to improve my management, I need to have those technology. So habang dumadating sila, I learn daily. And then I ask, paano ba gawin to? Ito ba? Paano gawin to? Tanungin ko si ganito, tanungin ko si ganyan. Okay, any questions, admin? Wala bang tanongs from the group? From this very, 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 very engaging group who answered a lot in the first question? Meron ba tanong tayo dyan? Meron bang tanong na you just want to raise to me or to the group? Okay. How can, sabi ni Craze sa Diwa, how can you manage people if you always do the same thing after several coaching and educating her? Nice question, Miss May. I will answer this. One, document the coaching. Kailangan may coaching log. Kailangan may template. Kung wala, pagawa ka sa training sa HR, meron yan, madali, online. Kailangan ma-document. If it's a performance issue, it must be related to your performance management system. Dapat meron yan sa HR. So tanungin mo, pag-aralan mo, dapat align. Pag hindi natututo, usually na-escalate yan, di ba? Parang violation ng, di ba? Parang violation sa kotse yan. Warning, second warning, ganyan, di ba? For example, overspeeding ka, ganyan. Ganon din ang sa trabaho. Yung coaching log mo will document the progress. Okay, hindi natuto sa una, hindi natuto sa dalawa. Kailangan align to sa mga laws ng DOLE, which is Department of Labor and Employment, and the company laws of employee or performance management. Dapat meron. Kung wala, then that's a different story. Diba? Now, kung talagang hindi natututo, you have to decide. With HR and your boss. Hindi lang ikaw. Number one, are you gonna retain the talent? Two, are you gonna transfer the talent? Right? Number three, or are you gonna remove the talent? Right? Pero kailangan documented yung ginawa niya and aligned again sa mga batas ng bansa sa labor at the same time sa company policy of performance management. Hindi lang pwede basta-basta katulad sa ibang bansa, ay, you're fired, ayoko na, hindi ka na type. Hindi. We have laws to follow. But those are the three questions that they need to ask. Pag talagang naubusan na lahat ng ginawa niyong legal, tanungin mo sarili mo, pag-usapan mo sa boss mo, pag-usapan mo sa HR. Transfer, remove, retain. If you're gonna retain, you need to train. So obviously, hindi niya nakukuha yung ginagawa. If you're gonna remove, you need to do also follow the law. Right? Kasi hindi ka pwede magbasta-basta magtanggal. Kaya nga dami nagsusumbong kay Dole, di ba? Kaya nga dami nagsusumbong kay Rafi Tulfo na mga ganyang cases kasi hindi fina-follow yung Dole rules. Wala namang problema kung talagang hindi match yung trabaho, tatanggalin mo. Pero follow the Dole rules. Importante yon. 3, kung ta-transfer mo, kailangan malaman ng darating doon na ta-transfer mo siya. Kasi, honestly guys, katulad sa amin ni Miss May, sa tanong niya, may mga taong hindi siya fit for that role. Like for me, kahit madaldal ako, don't sell me anything. Don't ask me to sell. Diba? Hindi ko talaga forte yan. Kahit i-training mo sa akin, no. Right? So I hope I was able to answer your question, Miss May. Any more questions, guys? I still have 4 more minutes. I like that question, by the way. how do you really, what do you do kung pag ulit-ulit ng trabaho? Tapos, mali, kinoach mo, yun. Importante yun. Nangyayari talaga yun. Kahit saan nangyayari yun. Right? I have issues with that before. Okay? So, any more? Any more questions? Okay, sabi ni Miss, I'm sorry if I pronounce it correctly, Riza Carabido. Is there an impartial an impact in leadership if the part of your group is mostly millennials? What are the strategies? Okay. The millennials and the Gen Z, diba? Millennials and then Gen Z, yung mas bago ng mga younger generation. Sabi na millennials daw 1983 and below. Ay nako, they're very dominating today. Right? What is the way to handle them? Let them be. You let them set the goal. You need to document their goal. Right? I work with millennials. My boss is not a millennial, but the rest of the team is millennial. Grabe. Iba talaga sila. So how I work with them is very simple. And this is how we work. And I like it. Gustong-gusto ko siya. O, itong trabaho natin. Itong agreement natin. You and me. This is your job. This is my job. Okay? This is how you do it. I suggest, ikaw bahala kung paano mong gawin yan. Pag hindi mo alam, tanungin mo ako. Then I'm a positive influencer. How do I become a positive influencer? I meet that person once a week. Hindi mo kailangan araw-araw. Never micromanage a millennial. Naku, patay tayo niyan. Kahit sino naman eh. There are only two reasons why you should micromanage a person. Number one, hindi niya nagagawa yung trabaho niya. Pumapalpal na siya. Pero may effort. Nakikita mo, hirap na hirap siya, pero hindi niya na-meet yung target niya. Micromanage. Two, gusto mo patanggalin yung tao na yon within the process of DOLE and HR, kailangan ma-micromanage. Pero in general, kung araw-araw magaling naman yung tao, nagpo-perform naman, diba? Average performer, kahit high performer, moderate performer, you do not micromanage. So you set the objective, you talk about the objective, give them all the tools. Kailangan mo bigyan yung tools, ha? Hindi fair. Hindi ko pwedeng, okay, talk to this person. How am I gonna talk to that person? Anong telephone number niya? Saan yung listahan? Anong oras susunduin? How am I gonna communicate? You need to give all the tools. And then you be a positive influencer. Manage it as a project. Every week, meet that person. Pabayaan mo na siya. Pag pumalpak, coach. Pag pumalpak, coach again. Di ba? Pag nag-succeed, praise. Praise in public. Pero pag nagkamali, reprimand in private. Right? Because wala na talagang, nowadays guys, not even millennials, like me, I'm 46. I'm turning 46 in the next few weeks. I don't want to be micromanaged. Diskarte ko na to eh. Pero I meet with my boss every week. Para align kami. Kasi iba naman, baka iba na yung expectation niya. Okay? That's how you do it. And then you document everything. Kaya nga babalikan ko kailangan meron kang project management tool. Meron kami sa kumpanya online. I won't mention it kasi baka sabihin nila binibenta ko. Tina-type lang namin, lahat nakakakita niyo kung ano nangyayari sa project ng lahat ng tao, regardless of department. Thank you very much for that question. Any more? I still have one more last question, sige, before we go and end the session. Gilbert Ricaforte, how to possibly influence the management if later is not open about what should say or experience? Very good. Management is management. Tinanong na sa akin to sa isang talk. Alam mo, sabihin mo, for example, you want to positive the influence, you need to have a test market. Start with small. So for example, may project ka, pero kailangan ng investment. Don't invest on the whole thing. Like me, I have a project right now. Assuming it's Project A. Si Project A, kailangan ng, this is my project. Kailangan, assuming, figures lang, assuming kailangan ng 3 million pesos. Hindi ko hinihingi yung 3 million. Malaki. Hingin ko muna yung 50,000. Test market muna tayo. Tikim muna tayo. Sir, ito pong project. Explain ko. Ito yung benefits. Mag-test market muna tayo. Parang sa kotse, test drive mo muna para ma-feel mo. Pag maganda yung outcome, then you can demand more. It's called investment. Because management will always look at the whole being of the company and the people. Kumikita ba tayo? At may tao ba tayong para kumita? Are we training the right people? Do we have enough staff? Or are we overstaffed? Especially right now. So how do you positive influence management? That is how you do it. So me, I do that. Maliit muna. Sila naman, ang isipin nila, tama naman si Dave. Ba't ako mag-i-invest ng 3 milyon? Invest muna tayo ng 50,000, maliit muna. Tingnan natin kung bagay sa kumpanya natin. Kung sinabi sa akin, Dave, hindi bagay yan eh. Hindi eh. At least I did my best. Documented closed project management tool. Kailangan yan. Para, pag binalikan ako, Dave, natandaan mo ba yung project na ganito si A? Eh, sir, di ba sabi mo hindi? Ito yung sinabi mo. Ay, hindi, baguhin na natin. Sige, try natin. Remember, there's really nothing wrong in trying. Remember, the bigger the organization, they have more funds, they can try. Especially now, maraming technologies that can really help you try. Right? So, ako ganon. That's how I do it. And it mostly works. 9 out of 10 times it works. Not always, but at least mataas ang average ko. Okay, guys. So, thank you very much for attending this free. It's about leadership and management. Any last words from admin? Admin, meron ba tayong kailangan gawin? Anything? Okay. I like to promote to you guys on November 15 at 1 to 5 p.m. on a Monday, guys. I like to talk about the entire course about leadership and management. This is something I have taught 100 types of courses in my entire life, from sales to motivational to technical, all this type, leadership. This is my favorite. I hope I can really share to you. And believe me, guys, sinulat ko to, hindi ko, those are the experiences that I have. So I invite you again. It's live on Zoom. Check out the website of Limitless Power Coach. Register now. But more importantly, guys, pag early registration, you can actually have a discount, right, on your leadership and management course. Mas mura siya. I just don't know, but alam ko mas mura siya. And then we can see ourselves on November 15 at 1 p.m. through Zoom, and we will learn more about leadership and management. Having said that, guys, thank you very much. Good morning, good rainy morning, and I had a really good time sharing my thoughts and learning from you guys. Thank you very much. Good morning, guys. Have a nice day.